Hello everyone! In this video, we'll be doing a square nail restoration using a miraculous gel that comes in handy in any situation. As promised, we'll also make a very cute Valentine's Day design that will surely captivate you. These are my client's hands. Here we did alignment with a base, without any reinforcements or anything like that. The shape we have is a soft square. This is a rounded square or square oval, something like that. But today we want to make a clear square, so let's remove the old coating. For removal, I'm using a bit with a blue notch so the work will go much faster. I always tell my girls that when you do any coating, think first about how you'll remove it later because it affects the work time, durability, and whether the client will return to you. It's a very good motivator. You can see how I use the drill to minimize the filing with a nail file. Next, opening up the side walls is also a very important step that will affect the entire process. However, it's crucial to do this carefully, not penetrating too deeply with the tool. We only open it up slightly to remove what's bothering us and to avoid injuring the client. Then we move on to filing the surface and lifting any lifted scales on the nail plate. We're not filing the shape right now. We start with the corners and then proceed with the filing. I will do the manicure in a combination technique. The girl has soft skin, the cuticles are not overgrown. So I take a flame bit with red serration. But don't think that if you took a soft abrasive, then you can no longer hurt the client. You can, if you don't know how the bit should go, at what angle and at what speed to work. All this will affect the quality of your work. Be careful with any abrasives and periodically brush off the dust so you can see what you're feeling. We've cleaned out the sidewalls, removed the filing, and now it's time to trim the cuticles. I trim them with scissors because I can get to any area comfortably. What do you use to trim cuticles? Write in the comments. I'd love to know. Next comes the chemical preparation of the nail plate. First, we degrease the nails and remove any remaining dust. Then we check the cleanliness of the manicure to ensure there are no leftover particles. Next, we apply a dehydrator and a non-acid primer. We give the primer time to evaporate and take effect. This takes about 30 seconds, after which we can apply the base coat. We choose a flexible base coat because we'll be working with a hard material afterward. I cover the nails completely with the base coat and cure them in the lamp for 1 minute. Since the base coat layer is thin, I can comfortably apply it to all fingers simultaneously without worrying about it flowing. After curing, I remove the sticky layer to prevent the fine file from sticking. And here is our miracle gel. This is a jelly gel and I've almost finished my second jar. I've tested it on all fronts, built extensions on upper and lower forms, and added corners and restored cracks. In short, we did everything we could and it passed all the tests worthily, and I can safely say that this is the material I have been looking for a very long time. I apply it with a brush to the corners where I need more nail. It holds the shape perfectly and doesn't run anywhere. I work on several fingers at once, which is very convenient and speeds up the process. I cure the gel for 1 minute, and then after curing, I remove the sticky layer because it's present here too. And only now can we move on to filing. First, I level the edge so that it is clear and then move on to parallels. The secret to creating a square is that the file must always be at 90 degrees. Not like when working with an oval or almond shape, but doing everything clearly and evenly. Otherwise, all the work is worthless. After filing, we also remove the dust and move on to leveling with the same base. The edge is reinforced and the nail itself does not need reinforcement. So in a thin layer, we level the nail with base. Here, I will already work on one finger so there are no flows. First, I coat the entire nail, then put a small drop near the cuticle and distribute it. Do not forget to flip the finger so that the material does not settle on the sidewalls. Otherwise, instead of a clear square, you will get a melted pie. I took a liquid base so the work goes much faster. Dry in lamp for 1 minute and proceed to color coverage. We chose gray so that our design would contrast sharply against this background. I cover in one layer, this color covers perfectly and nothing needs to be duplicated. If you can't get the brush from the bottle under the cuticles, then take a thin liner brush. It will be more convenient for you and there will be no flows. If you notice that the color doesn't apply well in one layer, it's better to apply 2 thin coats than to pile up material in one thick layer because the nail shape can deform due to the volume of the material and the material simply won't dry properly. After I completely painted the nails with color, I distribute the top coat with a thin brush and bring it to where I didn't reach with the bottle brush. And also pull the material from the edge to the center so that the square remains a square. I dry darker colors and those with white pigment, beige or cappuccino color, longer to be sure the top coat is completely dry. After drying, I remove the tacky layer from the nails and before the design, I cover with top coat as on the finish. That is, we cover the nails with glossy or matte top coat as if we have already finished. I do this without any leveling layers because our nails are even and the coating is without any deformities. So, we've achieved exactly what we set out to do. I also apply the top coat to the edges, but you may skip this step if you prefer. I'll still do some filing at the end to give the nail an even sharper shape. And for the design, we will need fine acrylic powder. It should be really fine so there are no coarse particles and bright saturated pink. We'll use this pink to draw hearts. I find it convenient to do this with a short bristled brush, but you can also try dotting and connecting with a brush. But I think it will be faster to just paint with the brush right away. Due to the gray background, they already create a nice contrast. But that's not all. We very generously sprinkle the hearts with acrylic powder several times until the acrylic stops sticking to the drawing. Then we cure it in the lamp. Before this design, you need to dry the glossy or matte top coat very well, because if the top coat is poorly dried and there are undried areas, the powder will cling there and the top coat will become rough and the effect will be completely different. So we dry the top coat for at least 2 minutes. Here you can already see what voluminous hearts we got. They look adorable, and I think this is a fantastic idea. If the powder doesn't cover all areas of the hearts evenly, simply rotate your finger to ensure an even distribution of powder over all parts. Then everything will look great. I worked on one finger at a time to prevent smudging the hearts, but you can work however you find comfortable. At the end, we brush off the remaining powder with a brush and moisturize the cuticles with oil. Try not to get oil on the hearts. Well, here's what we got. Write in the comments what you think of this design idea and how do you do square restoration. And the next video will be special. We'll be doing stained glass French with silicone molds in very detailed. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And I'll say goodbye to you for now. See you later, beauties!